this just sparked another thought in me about, we were talking about what has been the issue of this like rise and the change in like femininity and masculinity over the years. And I'm like coming back to my ranting tangent about women, right? So like women have now got all of these equal opportunities. Again, I will say 100% women should have all these things. But what hasn't changed is what the expectations on women. So you and I know this is not a problem for us because we don't have kids. But for all of my female friends, all of my female that are mothers, what has happened is nothing has changed for men in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. Men are the provider. Men go to work. They catch the animal. Nowadays, catching the animal is making the money, and they come home. Women used to, before the invention of the pill, back in like my grandmother's era and older.
Before World War I and World War II, where it was forced upon them.
It was forced upon them, and then the pill revolutionized that.
Because the men had to go actually physically protect
away,
and protect, and so
away.
things had to,
What I was going to say is that our grandmothers and all of the generations before that, being a mum was being a mum. There was nothing else. So women stayed at home and did all the things we were just talking about, but there was no other expectations. 99% of my female friends are working mothers, but are also coming home to raise children and do all the things that mothers have traditionally done. And so this is why I think women have gotten into this, like, I'll just do it all myself, because really the world, society is expecting them to do it all, to be able to do everything, to work, to make the money, to run the household, to raise the kids, clean the house, to do the cooking, whatever. I'm like, men, if you're listening and you have a wife that is going to work equal hours as you, even close to equal
you get home as equal.
Everything should be equal when it comes to raising your children.
I remember I was having a conversation with Matt Thomas, which I know you haven't met personally, but he's a chief of police in Arizona. And I've known him for a few years now and he was on the podcast, I think like four or five episodes back, maybe 6. And he was talking about this exact thing. He's like, my wife works, I work. He's like, their kids aren't so young anymore. But he's like, even still, he's like, I come home, he's like, I'll vacuum, I do the laundry, I'll do, he's like, we have different things that we do. And at times, yes, I'll do more. At times, yes, she'll do more. But we are to share the load of the household because we're both working.
Yeah, I also think...
And sometimes he's like, again, it comes back to that 50-50. Sometimes he's like, I'll come home and because of whatever's happened at work, which, he's like, I have some things. He's like, then we have this conversation and it's like, you communicate. Yeah, you communicate. And so, or, as the relationships go on, you can kind of read that person as well, their energy.
Yeah, but it's also like, don't become passive aggressive about it. Don't be like, oh, we've both worked and you're not doing, like, don't do that to each other. Just be like, we're both exhausted. Like, maybe tonight's takeaways, because neither of us have got it in us to do the thing that needs to be done, right? Like, we don't have kids and there's days we're like, no, we're today's, we're done. Like, we can't do this, But I do think the other thing men underestimate is women are naturally a lot. As Chris will tell you, he calls it the 256,000 Google tabs that are open in a woman's brain, right? Women tend to take on more of the emotional load of a household. So it's the stuff you can't see, right? Mums, females tend to worry about all the things that men just don't innately worry about. And that's they just don't see, right? And so I think, again, if you're a man, you're a husband, you've got children, even if you don't have children, like, even if you're sharing the load, I think it's don't forget that your wife is probably worrying about a bunch of other shit. And so I think women naturally tend to take on just a lot more than men do. But then I come back to the radical honest communication. Yeah. I'll just circle back to the thing I keep talking about this entire podcast, which is like, okay, the females listening, if you're feeling like that, fucking tell them. Yeah. Like, hey, honey, not in a nagging him way to do the thing or bath the kids, or it's just like sit him down and be like, I'm emotionally, if I sat you down, I'm emotionally exhausted. Like I've taken I don't know, I'm going to use my best friend's kids' names. I've taken Zach to kindy today and Indy to school, and this happened and this happened. I had to take the dog to the vet and all of this stuff, and I knew I promised you that I was going to, but I just can't. I'm actually really feeling really emotionally warped and drained. I just can't do this today.